Hello and welcome back to another episode of Entertainment Roadmap. Today I am here with Mya Lowe from My Life with the Walter Boys. Hi Maya, how's it going today?
It's good. Nice to see you. Yeah, it's going well today.
Good to see you too. Um, really to start off, we're so focused on the entertainment industry. When did you decide you wanted to be a part of the entertainment industry and how did you get that start?
hmm so originally it was through dance. I was a competitive hip hop dancer, still sort of am. And as I was growing in dance and getting more passionate for it, I realized, I really want to try doing on camera work. So film and TV with dance. So I did my first couple of years in Vancouver doing dance jobs, and that's how I gained my set experience and I met other people in the industry. And then over time, I kind of realized, hey, acting is something I actually really want to try. And yeah, I made that decision, switched over, and now I dance for fun still, but acting is my main job. Yeah.
That's amazing that you're able to keep both in your life still and really like balance it like that. And I mean, one of your most recent projects, My Life with the Walter Boys, how did you get involved with that?
So an audition came through and I saw the breakdown. And originally I auditioned for Grace, who's played by Ellie O'Brien, who I love very much. And I saw the breakdown for the project. I kind of read a little bit about it online, saw that it was a Wattpad novel. And I grew up, I knew what Wattpad was. I had read some things on there. I actually hadn't read this one specifically. And then I auditioned and I got a call back, and the callback was for Kylie. And that was my first time hearing of her character. So I got to play into that. And yeah, right when I kind of read the breakdown for Kylie, I was like, this makes a lot of sense. And I feel like I resonate with this character a lot. And then, yeah, the rest is history.
I like how you mentioned that you really aligned with Kylie's character because so many people that I've talked to said like sometimes when you audition, the vibe just doesn't fit. And that's how you know it wasn't meant for you. But it
Mhm.
seems like that Kylie really you were drawn to her and like her character is almost drawn to you. So it made that perfect fit.
Yeah, yeah. The showrunner Melanie Halsall, she's just a genius, and the casting was so well done. And right when I saw the description for Kylie, I was like, "This is me." And I remember calling my mom and being like, "There's so many similarities between Kylie and myself, and who I was in middle school and high school," and it just made sense. And I remember doing that callback and just feeling like this is something I can really sit into, and I'm so happy with how it turned out because I love playing Kylie.
Congratulations. I love that for you. I love how it just really fit into your life. And that's so amazing. Again, congratulations on the role. And I'm so excited for season two. So,
Yes, I'm so excited too. Thank you so much. And yeah, I really am excited to just be with everyone again.
yeah, definitely. And have you had the chance to read the book yet? Or is that still kind of, yeah,
Yes, yeah. After I booked the role, I went bought the book, read it through, and there's tons of similarities. Obviously, there's a lot of characters in the show that aren't in the book, but they get to in the show they have the time to sort of dive into each of these characters' lives, and I'm excited to see what season two holds for so many of these characters as well.
yeah, no, same here. And I mean, being that it was a book, it already had a built-in fan base. So what was it like becoming a part of a show that kind of had that already going on?
It was really cool because I remember when they first posted the article about it and people kind of started chatting about it and saying, "Oh my gosh, I remember reading this." And I'm in my, these people were like, "I'm in my mid late 20s now and I'm so excited to see this show because this is a book that had a huge impact on me when I was a kid." And I can definitely resonate with stories like that where you read it as a kid, it's never left your mind, and then to now see it come to life years later is so exciting. So that was really cool to experience, and to just also, yeah, connect with people that were like my age that had read that book as a kid.
Yeah, no, that's so, like you said, like you read a book when you're a kid or when you're a young adult, and then you finally see it on screen because I feel like there's a resurgence of all these YA books that were written or wrote a while ago, now
Mhm.
all coming back and coming to the screen. And I feel like you're right. It's such a special moment.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really cool.
And kind of getting back on track with Kylie again, what's your favorite thing about Kylie's character?
I think my favorite thing about Kylie's character is just it can be a fatal flaw, but her selflessness. I think that she has such good intentions for each of her friends and the people that she loves. And you can see her being there for people despite whatever she is going through. And although I don't think that that should always be the case with people, that is something I really respect about Kylie. I love her relationship with Grace and Skylar because it brings out another side of Kylie, but she's also just there for them and she's there to root for them and support them. And that's a kind of friend that everyone wants and needs. So I really appreciate that about Kylie for sure.
Yeah, no, she's such a good friend throughout this season. And I think that, especially when you're a character and you're in these worlds where like everything's over dramatic, it's
Mm.
very special to have a character that always kind of remains loyal to her friends and always, it just, I feel like it's a good role model for maybe people who are younger watching it.
For sure. I think she's really grounding. And I think that presence, now that I can kind of see it in hindsight, is necessary in a lot of these characters' lives. But yeah, I'm excited to see it get explored more.
Yeah, no, that's so exciting. And kind of going back into something you said earlier, you're also a dancer. So, what are some similarities and differences between acting and dancing on a set?
Mm, okay. I think they're very different in terms of the physical work. Um, Dancing on set is definitely strenuous physically. You're doing things over and over and over again, and you got to just be so on your game. And that is a similarity with acting. It's you got to be on your game. Um, I think a similarity is also the pressure of the situation. It kind of gives you that adrenaline, and I find that it gives me energy as a dancer, but then with acting, it gives me a lot of confidence. Being under pressure like that, I think that dancing was a really good introduction into acting in that way. I think they're really great ways of expressing how you feel. Dancing is using your body, but you also use your face and your emotions. And acting is also that you're allowed to use your body, but you also kind of channel that energy a little differently and put it more towards your face than anything. So it's interesting.
Is there one that you prefer, or are they both like so dear to your heart?
They're both so dear to my heart, and also with dancing was like my first love. Like I started dancing when I was 12. It's been over 10 years, and it's something I can never see myself fully letting go of, but it's also something I know that I don't want to do as a full-time job.
Mm.
um, and I think in order for me to maintain my love for dance, I had to step back and make it a hobby again and make it something that I choose to do willingly, rather than as a job. Whereas with acting, it's something I want to do for the rest of my life, and I want to build a career out of it. So my ways of loving them is different, and the way I prioritize them is different.
That's such a good way to put it, especially how you said you have to take a step back from dancing to still enjoy it. Because
Mhm.
my sister, she swam on a D1 swim team, like a Division One. She was a top swimmer, but she swam so much, she ended up, she hates it now. She won't swim.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like you love it, but doing it too much really can ruin it for you. And it's crazy the way that that works, but it's better to protect that
yeah,
to really let it go.
yeah, absolutely.
And not only My Life with the Walter Boys, but you were also on the Yellow Jackets. What was it like working on that?
Oh, it was incredible. I did both season one and season two, and they were both so different. Um, and the stories are so interesting on that show. I think like every time we got a script, whenever I'd read one, it would take me like two or three reads to really grasp everything that's going on. It's definitely a different energy than filming something like Walter Boys. There's definitely a different tone to the shows. But with Yellow Jackets, I love how gritty it gets and how disturbing and dark it can be at times, and getting to dive into such miserable circumstances for these young girls. I think it's such a cool opportunity to be able to pretend to be someone who has gone through something so traumatic and is continuing to deal with trauma and traumatic events. It's so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, how do you balance that tone difference? Like, how do you go from one show that's kind of like a dark drama to one that's more of like a happy, upbeat kind of show? Like, how do you go from,
That's a good question. It's funny because right after I filmed Walter Boys, I think 3 weeks after that, I started on Yellow Jackets season two. So it was a weird switch. And I remember kind of having to like get back into that zone again. And also just even in the environment that we're in, season two, a lot of it was in this cabin and we're really cold and wearing lots of layers. And it's just a different energy. And I definitely think it took a couple weeks to a month probably to get back into that headspace of what it was. But um, it's also like what a cool opportunity to be able to go from this show to this one. I mean, they're both such incredible shows and so different and so amazing in their own ways. So I appreciate it a lot, and I think I'm still in that process of figuring out how you go from one thing to another so fast. You know.
yeah, I feel like that's not easy on anybody, but the fact that you were able to make that jump, I think really just shows your talent as an actress. And I think that really shines through on screen that you're so talented, you're so adaptable. And I think it's really cool that you were able to go from one show to another. They're so different.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate hearing that.
No problem. And where did both of them film? These
So Walter Boys was filmed in Calgary, Alberta, and then Yellow Jackets is filmed in Vancouver.
okay, so both of them were in Canada.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm from the States, so I'm still like, and Noah, the co-host, she's from Canada, so she always knows like all like the geographical stuff there.
Right.
I'm always like, oh my gosh, I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
were they like in theory is that far apart?
No, no. Actually, the plane ride from Vancouver to Calgary is an hour.
Oh, okay, that makes it nice and easy.
Yeah, it's just one province over, so super
Oh,
close.
cool. Okay. And then with Yellow Jackets and My Life with the Walter Boys, they're so different, but they both have big ensemble casts. What's it like working on shows that have big ensemble casts?
It's so fun. It is so fun. Um, yeah, I Yellow Jackets like was the first time I've worked with that many people at once, and it's really cool to go to a set every day and experience the same thing as 12 other people around you, but all in your own ways, of course. Um, I think there's so much learning to be done when you're around so many people. You're seeing so many people work in different ways, and I remember after season one of Yellow Jackets, I felt like I had learned so much about acting and what it is to really be on set and get so committed to a role. And that came from watching my co-stars. And then getting to be on a set like Walter Boys with people also from all over was incredible too. And because a lot of us were living in Calgary, like part-time or full-time, we were together a lot in the city. So we got to go hang out and go to Banff and make fun cast trips and do things like that, which was awesome. So it's nice because you know you're never alone and you can always reach out to someone and hang out with them. That's really nice. And yeah, it's definitely like interesting going onto a set after that where you're working with the same like couple people the whole time because you're kind of like, where's everyone else? And then the days where there's like five people, you're all excited about it because there's just more energy, there's more things going on. So it's great.
Yeah, and I feel like when you're working in a big group, like you said, you go on those cast trips, you always have someone to hang out with. So for me, who gets bored so easily, I feel like it would be like my ideal cast because I always
Yes.
want to do something and I'm always like, who's around? So I feel like
Yeah.
that's a lot of fun. And do you have any advice for young actors and dancers who are trying to get into the industry?
Ooh. Um, I've given like advice to actors before, but I actually haven't talked about dancing too much in the industry. It's been a while since I've been like done any dance jobs. They are so much fun. Um, Definitely some advice is for both acting and dancing is make sure that your priority is that you love what you do. It's just easy to get caught up in, oh, what's the cooler thing to do or what makes you more money. And um, that's when it becomes really lonely and then like we said, you can start to hate what you're doing.
Yeah.
So make sure that your passion for it is the most important thing and that you feel a desire to do this for years and years on end. And I will speak to the amount of disappointments are in the industry. The amount of no's outweigh the yeses always, almost always. I don't know. So making sure that you are taking care of yourself in ways like going to therapy, having really great friendships outside of work that don't revolve around talking about work is so important. It's just easy, I think, in this industry to make your whole life revolve around work. And that's not what life is. And I'm starting to kind of understand how to balance it out. I'm not fully there yet. I appreciate you earlier saying that it's great that I can balance it. I think that it's definitely something I'm working towards right now is balancing both parts of my life and still prioritizing the friendships and your family, which is all you have at the end of the day. It's not all about work, right? So I'd say that to any dancers or actors trying to get into the industry, make sure that you love it, train, learn as many techniques and strategies that you can, but also maintain your sense of self and work towards a good positive image of yourself, because you need it in an industry that says no to you so often over stuff that has nothing to do with you,
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
That is such great advice because I think you really touched on a lot of important factors, like how it is true. All you have is your friends and your family at the end of the day. Your job, it's always like they could drop you in a second.
Mhm.
So and you always have to be more loyal to the people who won't. And I think, especially in the entertainment industry, where there's this pressure to always have a job or always be working, that's so prevalent because the no's are rough.
Yes. Yeah. And there are periods of time where, like the strike last year, where no one was working, no matter how talented and how much you booked before, you can't work. And I think it was a big realization for a lot of people that they need to feed more into their lives outside of work, because when work was taken away, people felt like they had nothing. I felt like I had nothing. Like there were moments of that for sure. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, no, that's a scary feeling, but I'm glad that you're learning to navigate it and that you are able to navigate it as well as you are. And for just a little more into the tips for young actors and all, do you have any audition tips? Because I know that's like a really stressful thing.
Yeah, yeah, audition tips. I think something I always try to do in my auditions is bring something that is personal to me into it and genuine. So I never try to be something that I think that the casting directors are looking for. With any character, you can find a way to make that character grow from who you are, and that's what makes such an interesting person to watch. It has to be authentic and feel real to you. So don't ask yourself what are they looking for, like what do they want to see. Make it, okay, how can I bring this character to life, and if it's meant for me, it'll be mine, and if it's not the right vibe, like you said earlier, it won't, and then something else will come that is closer to who you are.
Yeah, definitely. That's great advice, especially for like that anxiety inducing moments when you're like self-taping or you walk into the room. So I know
Mhm.
that's going to be appreciated. Thank you.
Of course.
And here at Entertainment Roadmap, we love to play like a little hot seat section. Do you want to take a seat in the hot seat and answer some
Yeah,
fast-paced questions?
absolutely, sure.
So, dream role, and this can be past, present, future, or like a book character.
Oh my gosh. I say this in everything and I will continue to say it, is like Carmen and Spy Kids. That trilogy of movies, so good. And I always wanted to be Carmen.
I loved Spy Kids growing up. So, yeah, I have to agree with that one. From My Life with the Walter Boys, are you Team Alex or Team Cole?
When it comes to Jackie, oh, I change my opinion all the time, but when it comes to Jackie, Team Cole.
Mm-hmm.
And that's controversial. Everything is controversial with this.
Yeah.
But I think Alex, and Ashby said this too in interviews, but Alex has growing to do. And I think that Jackie and Cole have something very special underneath. And so do Jackie and Alex, but there's just, yeah, there's differences.
Yeah, I'm very much a Team Cole for Jackie, but like you said, I don't think Alex is the worst. It's very tough to pick.
Yeah, they both have great, great attributes. And the way that Alex loves is like so admirable. So
True.
I am team Alex in my heart. Um, But when it comes to Jackie, because I know this question is referring really to Jackie, it's Tinkle.
Yes. And if you could move anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Good question. I have been saying lately, I'd love to go and live in Italy for a while, for a month or several months, like
Mhm.
this, the southern Italy, the Amalfi Coast. I need to go. I've never been before, but I feel like I belong there for a
I
while.
haven't either, but I've heard such great things about it. And I
Mhm.
know people who have lived there, like studied abroad and have been there for like 4 or 5 months. And I mean, this was years ago and they still talk about it. They love
Yeah,
it. So
yeah,
there's something there that we need to go see. Like,
yeah. I just think the quality of life, and also just in Europe, how close everything is to each other. You're just getting to experience so many cultures in such a small proximity. So it's really cool.
yeah. And then what's your go-to coffee order?
This is also changing all the time because a month ago I would have said matcha made with oat milk, like a matcha latte.
Mhm.
But now I've had to start having coffee a little more because I'm working. So I've been doing like half calf lattes made with oat milk,
Oh, okay. I'm
or
a
like
big
half decaf.
oat milk girl.
Yeah, yeah. Half decaf because I get anxiety if I have just straight coffee now. So I try to do a little mix.
Isn't it great? I get that too. Like you need the caffeine, but then
Mhm.
you're like on the edge of your seat all day, ready to like
Jitters.
cry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And Apple or Android?
Apple.
Oh, yep.
So, yeah.
I always say if he or she has a green bubble, they're not worthy of a relationship.
Oh my God. I'm like, I meet great people with Androids, but for myself, I will absolutely always have Apple. Yeah, I will always have an iPhone.
And what's your favorite TV show at the moment?
Okay, so right now I'm binging season 10 of Love Island. So the 2023 year Love Island UK. It's so good. But in terms of just a show that I will always ride or die for is New Girl.
I have gotten like 2 seasons in. I need to finish New Girl because everyone
Oh,
always references it and I don't know what they're talking about.
you got to watch all seasons. You got to finish it. It just gets better, and it'll be something that you just like go back to when you just want to have a chill night at home. It's so nice.
I'll definitely get on it. But Maya, thank you so much for joining me today. This I had such a great time and you gave a phenomenal interview. So I can't wait to get this out and I hope to speak with you again soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I had an awesome time.